Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Monday, June the 26th, 2023, and this is my Flosstube episode number 85. I've done this intro a couple of times now. If you are a new subscriber to my channel, thank you so very much for coming and checking me out, and hopefully I can enable you with a project or two. And for my returning friends and subscribers, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time I upload a video. I had it down pat, 4 minutes. You know, I talked for 4 minutes and 16 seconds, and then a daggone telemarketer with a Florida number, which is why I answered the phone, calls me asking me if I want to put my house on the market. Like, ticked me off so bad, because then, you know, I hit the wrong button and had to redo the daggone video intro again. So I want to say thank you to all of you that did comment and like the StitchCon recap video. I love doing the StitchCon recaps every year when I go. I've been for the last 3 years, so when I go, I love doing the recap videos. And I appreciate you all so very much for all of your wonderful comments. It really does help me continue on in this endeavor. As long as people are liking the videos, I will continue to put them out, because to be truthful and honest, it's no small feat putting these videos on. So thank you all so very much. I may not always comment back on the videos, but I do try to give a heart. I do read every single comment that you do write, and I try to respond in some small way, or at least give a heart back. I also would like to thank you all for your support with the crocheting. I had a commenter. It was so great. I loved it. Like, I've been talking about it, been telling everybody. She commented about being a loose hooker, and I commented back to her saying that right now I'm still a tight hooker, but I want to become a loose hooker. I want my hooking to be even. And I just got the biggest kick out of that. So I was telling it to one of my friends, and she said that crocheters call themselves hookers, and I just thought it was priceless. I was like, I've never heard that before, but okay, now I can officially call myself a hooker. So it was great, and thank you all so very much for being supportive of me picking up a new hobby. I don't know how long I'm going to stay with that hobby, but I thought it would be something different for me to get into. Again, I used to crochet a long time ago, and I have an unfinished blanket that I was making for my son, so maybe I'll get back to it. What really intrigued me about the crocheting was watching Lori Holtz. They did a crochet along. I don't even know if that's what you call it, but where they were making granny squares, and I thought they were so cute. Pardon me. So that is why I wanted to pick up crochet, because I figured I could, if nothing else, I could make face cloths for gifts, and that would be great. And it would give me another avenue to help reduce my stress. So that's why I picked up crocheting. So but I'm assured that as long as I keep practicing, I will become a loose hooker, and that just brings joy to my heart. Every time I say it, I'm a tight hooker, I'm a loose hooker. I love it. So I have been stitching for the past couple of weeks. I know I have been missing in action after my StitchCon recap. you know, there was only 4 days or so between the video and then me recording again. And so I just decided that I would wait. And then on, what was that, Father's Day? Right, I decided to wait. And then I just decided to wait until, which was supposed to be yesterday, but I had a friend's son who was graduating from high school. So I went to his graduation party and had a great time, which didn't leave me much time to do recording. So there is that. So for this episode, I have new starts. I have some whips. I have a couple of finishes. I have my plans, and I have an investment that was sent to me by an Etsy shop owner, and I will be sharing that with you in hopes that you will go over to her Etsy shop and send her show her some love and support. So let's jump right into it, because it's quite late in the evening, and I want to get this up tonight. So my new start. So and it wasn't even Colleen that did it. There's a new Sal going on that of course it's not in the front. There's a new Sal going on, and I will have all of the details in the description box below. It's called Rebel Sampler Sal, with a hashtag, and it is for this chart. The Sal actually started on the 24th, so it's not too late. You can jump right in if you have this chart. You could also get this. So I purchased mine from Keepsakes, but you can also go to Rebel Stitcher Designs website and pick you up a digital copy. It's called, the Sal is Civil Sampler Sal. And I started Caged Bird. And I actually started it. They gave the start date of the 24th, but I had a Zoom event that I was doing with a bunch of ladies, and if I can, I will insert a picture here. We get together on Juneteenth or around about Juneteenth and do a Zoom call, and we were Zooming on the 18th. So I started the civil sampler on June the 18th, and I continued working on it on the 19th, which was Juneteenth, and this is where I have gotten to so far. That needle minder is one of Rebel Stitcher's needle minders, and that is where I have gotten to so far. So I just have the first part, the caged, and one of the flowers from the top of the chart. So I am right here on this flower. I am stitching this on a 36 count freeze by Rouge Stitching, which is also Atomic Ranch. And there you go. That's pretty true to color. It's just a little bit darker than that. So this piece was called to be worked on 40 count, so you can see how large it is. It is a pretty big pillow. Again, I will have the hashtag down below in the description box, and I think I can link Colleen's website also down below. Here are I am using the called for colors. So here is the color palette of I did have to change one because it was my blue. It calls for deep blue sea, and my deep blue sea was really, really light. I mean, it barely had any blue to it. So I changed the blue for the bird to cool azul. But those are the rest of the color palette, called for colors. With the exception of the flowers, which I'm of course making purple. And for that, I'm using mulled berries and purple aster. It was a great, easy stitch for those 2 days. I put in, on that, I put in, I knew I wrote it down, 261 stitches, and it helped set up my campground in the road trip. You know me, I have not turned on my air conditioner yet. First of all, it hasn't even been hot here yet. And it's not hot today. It's really more humid, which is why I'm perspiring. But, phew. So, I worked on that for 2 days, from the 18th through the 20th. And I put in 261 stitches. And I will put the hashtag, again, it'll be on the screen. And it will also be in the description box below. So now I'm going to move on to whips. And I'm going to give you a little bit of information. For the whips that I've been working on, I unfortunately am not making my goals from the Acrostic this month. I am continuing to stitch on all of the projects that I need to take with me to Silver Needle, because it is officially 2 weeks from today that I'll be leaving to go. So I wanted to make sure I have to get those projects done to for the finishing class. So that is what I've mostly been stitching on the past 2 weeks. So, the first project I'm going to show is my twisted band sampler. Here's a picture of what it looks like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where it is now. I don't know why I don't remember to bring a board over here. So here's a picture of where it is now. I completed all of the butterflies, and I brought down the next line in the pattern. I put in 763 stitches on this project and thought I was done. But as it turns out, I used this for the road trip shop hop. We here in Ohio, in September, they do what is called a shop hop. And all the local needlework shops in the state of Ohio participate. And so the administrators for the road trip combine that in the, we're going from Pennsylvania all the way to Memphis, Tennessee. So it's from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. That's the road trip, this leg, which is leg number 7 that I'm on. So I used this one project and bulk stitched all of the shops for the state of Ohio. So let me give you those real quick. Sorry, I bumped you. So we have with needle in hand, Just Stitching Ink, Crafty You, Craft Gallery, Cross My Heart, Keepsakes, and A Stitch Above. And they are, they go from Boardman, Ohio, all the way down to Mason, Ohio. So they, you know, the shops, the one shop, Cross My Heart, is actually here in Columbus. So it starts in the northeast and wraps around the state and ends up in the southwest part of the state. So it's very fun. But I put in 763 stitches and stopped, because I was like, oh my gosh, this was also EJ's WIPGO call. And you know, if you've been around before for a long time, my WIPGO, is 700 stitches in each project called. It doesn't have to be in the month it's called, but when it's called 700 stitches, and I have all year to work on them. So when I hit 763 stitches, my brain was like, woohoo, you made your WIPGO goal. Not thinking, I still have 37 more stitches I need to put in this for the shop hop. So I have to put in 37 more stitches, and then I'll have to frog it. Because right here, this butterfly, the whole entire butterfly, is 1 stitch too low. And also this whole butterfly is 1 stitch too low. And so, because they're touching that line, they're not supposed to be. So I'm going to have to take out both of those butterflies and put them back in. The next time that I picked this up, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed because I was just moving right along. And when I got to this and it hit that line, I couldn't even imagine. I like double checked the line, all of it, because it all just fell right into place. But it's wrong, and so I'm going to have to correct it at some point. But before I do that, I'm going to stitch 37 stitches in it. Now, I only need to remove the butterflies. The line is actually in the correct spot. So I'm going to do the 37 stitches off of the line and not the butterflies. You know, luckily enough, like when I put in the line, these butterflies were all correct because I didn't count off of these butterflies. I counted off of up here. So, but things happen, and you know, a couple hundred stitches I gotta take out and put back in. I'm not going to put them back in right away. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep moving forward because I'm already behind the 8 ball with my goals. So I was just like, I'm going to make sure I when I pick it up again, I'll, you know, be able to make the correction. And go from there. I am stitching this on an 18 count white Aida, and I'm using 1 thread over 1, and I'm using the called for DMC colors. I do love this piece, and it's just going to be, I was watching another Flosstuber, and I can't, Handwork Maniac. This was my first time watching her channel. I mean, I am really going at it with the perspiration. And she had a whole lot of whips. I will tag her down below. She has a whole lot of whips, and she doesn't seem the least bit concerned about the timing, you know, when she's getting them done, none of that. And it was so inspiring to me, because I, you know, work on whips and just be like, it'll get finished whenever it gets finished. And so it was really inspiring for me to watch her just talk about her whips. And she put out whip after whip after whip after whip, and it was really like, she really just does her whips whenever she does them. And I mean, that she wants to finish them, of course, but she doesn't have grand plans to seem to finish them. And, you know, she's not rushing through them to get them done, is what I'm trying to say. So that was my twisted band sampler. It was, so to recap that, it was EJ's choice for my WIPGO project, and I did put in 763 stitches. So I did meet that goal. So I'm going to put in a 37. I'm sorry about the abrupt cutoff. I was getting a video chat incoming call, and when I declined the call, it shut off my camera. So just to go back to the twisted band sampler, I will be putting in 37 more stitches, because I need to get to 800 stitches for the shop hop. And then after that, immediately after I take the picture and post it up, I'm going to frog out those 2 butterflies, so that the next time I pick it up, I'll be ready to just roll and keep put those butterflies right back in, because they're actually 2 colors, a magenta and then like a burnt orange. So I need to put them back in. So okay, my next project that I worked on, and I'm wondering, oh no, I did show it before. So of course it is Purple Rain, and it is a Heaven and Earth design mini, and that is what it will look like. I need to get one of those big pictures like Carolyn has. That is what it will look like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I am now. So as you can tell, maybe not, because it's all the same shade of purple, I did extend over. I put in 97 more stitches this month for, I think I just, because I wanted to put in 97 more stitches. Because now, well, that's where I'm at. I am stitching this on an 18 count, dyed by EJ fabric, and I am using the called for anchor flosses, which were gifted to me by my friend Miss Joy Lisa, and that's where it's at. You will be seeing Purple Rain in July. We received the WIPGO numbers early on the 25th. And it was Carolyn's choice, which was number, I think she was 21. And she picked Purple Rain. So I will be working on this some more in the month of July. I do love it. For this month, $259. So for this month, I've put in 402 stitches on that. And if you recall or have been around for a while, I first started this with two 2 strands of thread, and should have known before I put in too many more stitches that it was not what I was looking for. So I restarted it on Prince's birthday, June the 7th this year. This was a restart. I had started it last year with Carolyn Zook, and we started it on June the 7th last year. Stitched on it at StitchCon together, kind of. And she is now, you know, much further along, but next month I'll be putting in more stitches because I'll be participating in Tour de France with this piece, and also the WIPGO, which is 700 stitches. So I am looking forward to it. It does make me so very happy that I'm only sad that I didn't restart it last year when I realized that I didn't like the way that the threads were laying in the coverage. But you live and you learn. So that is Purple Rain. My next WIP is Dr. Maya Angelou. And this is by Salty Stitcher Designs. And here's here's what the model looks like. I did not use this for a prompt in. I have not used it yet. I did go ahead on and put the stitches in and took my pictures because I have a 5-day hiatus in the road trip. So I haven't used these stitches yet for road trip. But here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where it is now. So I put in, when I last showed it, I had this flower completed, and I just had the bud, the purple of this flower. So now this time I came in and put in all of this greenery. These will mirror each other. So I'm going to put in this side and then come back and put in this side. I put in 147 stitches on this, and that is all of this green here. I am stitching this on I'm stitching this on a 36 count pearl by Mystic Fabrics, and I am using the called for threads with the exception I have added, no, I'm not stitching it with the called for threads. I made a slight color conversion because I'm using purple for the flowers, which is hyacinth, and a classic a color in cotton that does not have a name for the flowers. So that is where it is now. And it's really lovely. I'm using 1 thread over 2 linen threads. It is wonderful. This is a wonderful stitch. I don't think Christy watches me, but it is. She has some wonderful designs. And I've talked with her. We talk at StitchCon, and I actually talked to her this past time too, and told her that I'm loving this stitch. and she did a wonderful job with the design. Okay, so that was Dr. Maya Angelou. And then, so I have been working, and I don't have a chart to show you. So I have been working on the stocking, which is by a design by Miss Mona at the Silver Needle. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I am now. So I have been, for the past 2 days, stitching like a wild woman. When I last showed it, I had all of these, I had the white in the checkerboard. And I had started the white part of the checkerboard here. I started on Saturday and just stitched and stitched and stitched. Each one of the blocks has 4 stitches in it. And I used all of that stitching to do the items that were my purchases for the shop hop. So I purchased a Garon project bag, a chatelaine kit, a mounting board, a Crocette kit. I put down a retreat deposit. I purchased a needle minder, and I purchased Ada to the tune of, so the total stitches were 825 stitches, and so far right now I've put in 895 stitches, and I am not finished. I'm not done. I still have, so this is the, I do have a copy of it, so I can, this is what I'm going to do. There. So I am on this side over here. So I have put in the very top of the toe, and I'm just working my way down. Initially, this was supposed to be red and white or red and green, and I decided I'm gonna dance to the beat of my own drum and make it purple and white. And then, and so that's where I am right now. I need to complete putting in the purple, and then, which I did it backwards because it started with purple down here on the bottom, and I needed to make sure that I was in the right space. So now I'm going to go back in and start putting in the white for the toe. I'm going to keep track of how many stitches this is, which I keep track of this of my stitches anyway, because this thing, it probably has, I don't even know how many stitches right now. And I the 900 or the 895 stitches is part of the white here, all of the purple here, and because I already had the white stitches in, so I'm gonna keep track. I'm keeping track of how many stitches I'm putting in for it. So now I need to figure out what I'm going to use this for, because I still have all these stitches to use, and I can't leave the campground for the road trip until tomorrow. So then once I do that, then I'll start counting again. Literally, I put in 100 stitches, took a picture, posted it. Put in 50 stitches, took a picture, posted it. So there's a lot of, you know, posting, because I have to put it in. But then, like I said, I put in 100 stitches. Well, I had to put in 25 of these little blocks in order to get to the 100. So it's just, this is a lot. If I had it to do all over again, I would choose not to do this project. It is one of the finishing items, and it actually will be, I have to get it done before we go because it's one of the first pieces that we do the finishing technique on. So it'll just, you know, I'll just be stitching away on my little stocking for the next few weeks. You're going to see the stocking for the next couple of weeks. And yes, I am drinking water. So that's where I'm at. It is a lot. But, you know, when I get it finished, I'll be so happy that it's done. And when I get the finishing, when we do the finishing on it, I'll be so happy with it. And I won't even, it'll be like childbirth. I won't even remember all the time and the energy and the effort that I put into getting it done. It'll just be like, oh my God, it's so wonderful. At least, you know, that's what they say when you have babies. You don't remember the pain. You just remember how beautiful the baby is. So I'm hoping that I'll have that same sensation when I get this stocking finished and get it fully finished. Okay, so that was my stocking. I did put a few stitches in on temperature butterfly, but nothing, I didn't even get, you can see it right back here, I didn't even get a full outline done, so I'm not going to be showing that. But let me show you what I finished. I have two finishes, and the first one is my spools, is what I'm calling it. And if you remember from the last time, I showed this because I was using these wonderful, and thank you all so very much. After I started reading the comments, I was like, duh, one of a kind, duh. But it didn't, you know, when you're in the moment and you're trying to think, you can't, like, your brain just refuses to pull it up. It's I think it's the brain. Like, no, I'm going to let you stumble over and people will tell you so. So here is my spools with my ruler, and I finished this on the 22nd. And so that is one of my finishes for the class. I used 28 count dried violets, and then I used for the spools, I used a couple of one of a kind Forbidden Fiber Co. flosses and Heartthrob. And for the ruler, I used DMC. But that's where that is. So I'm happy to get that off my plate, because, you know, that ruler had a lot of stitches in it too. And now I have to put my Forbidden Fiber Co. fibers up and be ready to use them on another design really quickly, because they'll make great flower colors. And then for the next one I finished was the Crocette gogo, and I'm calling it Rouge. It's the one with the bird on it, but I did a little bit of tweaking. So I changed the bird. I was making changes to this on the fly. Let me tell you, the back stitching was to be in a dark green, and I changed it all to a light green. The flowers were to have two different colors here, and 3 stitches with a different color. And I was like, nope, not doing that. So I, you know, put it in that way. I used overdyes and DMC. So for the bird, I used overdyes. And I used Wisconsin Woods, Antique Lace, and Purple Haze. For the flowers, I used Blooming Crocus. And for the leaves, I used 581. I also, if you recall, I had his little stand. It was a brown. I took that out and made it, it was like DMC 04 or something like that. And then I also backstitched using that same color for the strings. But there it is. You know, it didn't have this part on it. Like as I was backstitching it, I was adding little squiggles, because when you have a flowering vine, it curls around all kinds, and it does it all different kinds of ways. And so I made my vine curl throughout on the glass, which now in thinking about it, I probably shouldn't have did, but hey, too late now. And I love it. I actually really, really do enjoy the way that I finished, you know, the changes that I made. And I think it looks great. So those were my two finishes. So now those two are finished. I have two more, the stocking and the flower vase, that I need to finish. And then before I leave, I'm going to show you all 6 of them together. So you'll see what they look like before, and then you'll see what they look like when I bring them back home. Because I'm really excited about it. I'm going to put that up on Instagram now that I've finally shown it to you all. I wanted to show it to you all first, so now I can post pictures of that. Okay, so now I have reached the plan section of the video. Let me just tidy up a minute. Because, you know, when I get done with this, usually, like, I have piles all over the place. And so I'm trying to stay a little bit more, you know, clean things up. And usually it's really bad when I have a large haul video. So I'm not going to have a large haul video today. So it should be okay. So my plans for the next week or so will be to add those 37 stitches to the twisted band sampler, take a picture, post it, and then immediately frog out those 2 butterflies. 2 weeks from today, I literally will be on the road going to Oklahoma. So I need to get the stocking and the flower basket completed before I go. So I'll be doing a lot of work on those 2, back and forth. Luckily, within the road trip, right, you know, I have some 100 stitches, 50 stitches, and then I have one that's like 200 stitches. So I'll be able to utilize my stitching for the road trip, at least, for those 2 projects. So that'll be good. I would like to put some more stitches in Temperature Butterfly for this month. I'm not for sure that it's going to make it. Temperature Butterfly is on my finish. What is that? No, it flew out my head. It's a group by Melanie Watkins, and it is 6 finishes. And I have 3 in already. I have Temperature Butterfly slated to also be finished. Oh my goodness. I cannot think of the name of that group. See what I mean? Your brain just like goes on vacation in the middle of you talking. Year of Whips. See? So I do need to get some work in on Temperature Butterfly because it is needing to be finished. I do not want to carry Temperature Butterfly into 2024. It was a whip. I mean, it was a new start in 2022. It should have been finished in 2022. But I'm surely not carrying it into 2024. So I want to get some good work in on Temperature Butterfly. But it'll all depend on how I'm progressing with the last 2 projects for Silver Needles. So that is where I stand. I have not made too many plans for July as of yet. I do know my WIPGO, one of my WIPGOs, Miss Shelia, is actually the second WIPGO call. So I'll be getting with her to find out what she would like to see me work on for the month of July. And they are on their road trip look, they're on a real road trip right now. I hope they're having a great time. So when she gets back and gets settled, then I'll be able to get her to choose a project so that I can perhaps take it with me on my road trip. On my road trip. I will be taking my, well, I'll go through all of that in the coming weeks. Right before I go, I'm planning on putting up a video of what I will be taking to stitch on in the evenings or during the retreat, the actual retreat part of when I go to Silver Needles. So now I am going to share with you. So, the designer's name is Manuer and Melissa, and they wrote me this wonderful note, letter. She actually contacted me through Instagram, and I was so pleased. Let me give you a little bit of background. She said, in 2022, we decided we would start an Etsy shop where we would share with the world our own cross-stitch designs and patterns. Opening the shop was a lot harder than we initially expected, but we didn't give up and are now very happy to tell you that our cross-stitch shop, December Stitches, on Etsy is open. So, they are, she said, as we are huge fans of your channel, we decided to send you some patterns as a gift to you and your viewers. So I'm going to show you. And I am going to be, I'm going to show you. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 that she sent me. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for them. But I would also like for you to go over and check out her Etsy shop. So, the key, I'll give you the keyword. I'm going to do, I'm going to do numbers. But what I want you to do in your comment before you give me, first of all, please do not say giveaway. Don't say what a wonderful gift. None of the keywords that bring the trolls. I've been blessed and thankful that I have not had to experience what some other floss tubers have experienced with trolls and hacking or whatever is going on, whatever people are crazy and whatever they're doing. I'm thankful in the fact that I have not had to deal with that. I will never ask you to send me your email. I will always have you email me your information, because my email address is in the description box below. So please, if something does happen and someone comes on and asks you to send your address to them, know that it is not me, because I will never ask you to send me your address through comments on YouTube, okay? So, also be 18 years old so that I can't ask you for your address. Please also be a subscriber. It's just, you know, it's just nice to be a subscriber in order to get something. What else? I think that's it. Everybody gives the rules all the time, so you should know what the rules are. So I'm going to show you the one that I am going to keep, because I am going to keep this one, but then I'm planning on going over to their Etsy shop, and it's called December Stitches on Etsy, and choose a couple of more. So this is the one that I'm keeping because everybody knows I'm a snowman person. The only thing is I'm going to change his hat and his scarf, of course, because that's just how I roll. But this is called Snowman with a Red Hat. So I guess I can leave his hat red. Snowman with a purple hat. That's what I would name him. But so that one I am actually keeping, and the rest of them I'm going to be doing a giveaway right now for. So this first one is called Blue Nutcracker. Excuse me. And it is actually a full, the face, the front, and the back of the ornament. So you would get, so you could stitch it front and back and finish it to where you would see it. And this would be number 1. This next one, let me do it this way, is, oh, that was Blue Nutcracker. This is Magenta Nutcracker. And I'm sorry for the glare. They put them in page protectors so that they would not get ruined. So I'm leaving them in there. This next one is Snowman with a Green Hat. And the charts are very, I'm not going to show the charts, but they are large charts. There's black and white, and there are symbols. Now, I don't see, okay, I don't see like the finishing instructions, but you could look up how to finish them. And like this one is 38 by 44. So it's not very large at all. And I'm sorry about the dings are my friends who are all getting online to stitch together. So if you can hear that. So this one is 38 by 44. Let me just jump back real quick and see what the nutcrackers are. The nutcracker is 29 by 102. So they're 29 by 102. Now remember though, it has a front and a back. So if you stitch, that's ×2. Okay, so we finished with Snowman in a green hat, and that's number 3. I'm going to go back over them again because I probably messed it up as usual. This ornament is 50 by 56. Yeah. And it's Christmas tree orange ornament. Now, of course, these are the suggested colorways, but you can change that any way you want. And even the stitching up at the top of the ornament, so it's not just a round circle, there's actually stitching up at the top to make it look like an actual ornament. That's number 4. Christmas tree ornament with poinsettia is number 5. Now, there's a lot of stitching in that. And then this one is going to probably be the one that everybody's going to want. It's Santa's cat on a scooter. And let me see what. It is 83 wide by 87 high. So that's number 6, I believe. Let's go through them again. Oh. So the blue nutcracker is number 1. The magenta nutcracker is number 2. Snowman with green hat is number 3. Christmas tree orange ornament is number 4. Christmas tree orange ornament with green poinsettia is number 5. And Santa's cat on a scooter, in a scooter, is number 6. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate you sending me this gift, Simone and Melissa. I will be drawing for these next week. I'm actually going to draw for them on July the 2nd. Usually my viewers watch pretty quickly and they respond pretty quickly, so I'll be drawing for them on July the 2nd. I want to thank you all so very much for your support of me and my channel. Albert's doing great. I have a picture of him that I'll insert here where we were standing outside on one of the days where it wasn't pouring down rain and we had some sun, so I'll post a picture. He actually looks like he's smiling for being outside, so I'll have to get that picture posted. We are all doing good. Everything's going well. Just working and stitching and enjoying the not so hot weather. I do like a little heat though, so but it's okay for now. I don't have to turn on my air, which is a good thing. I want you all to take care of yourselves. Please do though. I know in some areas it is stifling hot. Please check on your elderly friends and family members. The heat is so bad for them, and they can be in trouble and not even realize what's going on. So please, please, please make sure you're checking on the elderly, family members and friends and neighbors, everyone. And I hope you are having a good summer so far. I know lots of vacations are happening and all of the things. So have a good time in whatever you do, and I will see you next week. Bye.